So the next one is the order of the network. Okay. If the network consists of resistance and inductance, or resistance and capacitance, or resistance along with inductance and capacitance, or inductance and capacitance alone, then we can define the order for the network. So because when the network involves either inductance or capacitance or both, okay, you can write that in terms of differential equation. Okay, once if it involves either inductor or capacitor, if you write the relationship between the voltage and the current of inductor or capacitor, then definitely we'll get the differential equation. So when we write the KVL or KCL, we can write the differential equation. Okay, for that every differential equation will have a order. Okay, first order, second order equation, like that. Okay, if it is a first order equation, then this is simply d plus m naught. If it is second order equation, then this is d plus m naught and again d plus m1 is equal to 0. That means when the circuit consists of either inductor or capacitor, only a single inductor or capacitor, definitely the order is first order. If it consists of more than one inductor or more than one capacitor or combination of inductor and capacitor, then order may be more than one, second order, third order, like that. Now we will see what are all the first order network. If you consider R along with C, RC, or R along with L, then these are all first order network. Say for example, in some case resistance is there and two capacitance are in parallel. Okay, whenever two capacitance are in parallel, we'll not consider as a two different capacitor. It is like a one single capacitor. We'll find out the equivalent capacitor, then it is similar to this structure, and for this network also the order is first order only. But suppose if the case is like this, here resistor is there, capacitor is there, again one more resistance and capacitance. Now you cannot combine these two capacitance either in series or in parallel format. So that's why once if you write the differential equations for this network, it will be of second order. That means this is of second order network, second order network. Okay, so when you have RLC or LLR or CCR or LC network, there is a possibility that second order is possible. But if LLR, in case of LLR, if L and L is in either in parallel and series, then it goes to the first order. Okay, when you are not able to make the equivalent, then it comes under the second order. Okay? In general, the resonant circuit is a second order network because it consists of both inductor and a capacitor. And again, in some cases, the order of the network may be different before switching and after switching. Now, we take this as this example. Okay, this is like a capacitor. Okay, this is a capacitor. This is one capacitor. This is another capacitor. So this is the voltage source voltage. Now this source voltage is connected at t is equal to minus infinite. For example, it was connected at t is equal to minus infinite. Then the current is flowing from t is equal to minus infinity to up to the current time. Now suddenly what you are doing, okay, so suddenly you are trying to, okay, so this voltage source is there and this capacitor is there and the switch is closed. Okay, so far both the capacitor is getting energy from t is equal to minus infinite. Now suddenly you are removing the switch. Okay, you are opening the switch. Okay, before opening the switch, the order of the network, okay, the order of the network, that means when the time is less than t is equal to 0, because at t is equal to 0 you are doing the switching operation, that means you are opening the switch. Before opening the switch, the circuit is of second order nature. But after opening the switch, okay, once if you open the switch, then this will be disconnected. You will get only this combination. Now the order of the network is like a first order network. So whenever there is a switching operation, before the switching operation, the order of the network may be different. After the switching operation, it may be different. It not necessarily to be same. It may or may not. It depends on the situation. Okay. So next, we take the source free circuit. Okay, that too first order circuit, because once if the source free circuit of second order nature, then that comes under the resonant concept. Okay, for a source free circuit, we take the first order. That means it consists of either capacitor or inductor along with the resistor. Okay, at a time we will have one inductor and one resistance, or one capacitor, one resistance. Okay, first of all, how the source free circuit is working. Say for example, I am having 5 voltage source. Okay, I have connected this source at t is equal to minus infinite. Okay, with the 2 ohm, it is charging this capacitance 5 farad. Now what I am doing, and anyway one more resistance is there, but it is disconnected because I am closing this switch at t is equal to 0 only. Before t is equal to 0, the switch is open, then this resistance is nowhere related with this network. Okay, now from minus infinite up to the current time, this voltage is charging this capacitor. Now this capacitor would have got the maximum voltage, that is 5 volt. Now what would be the capacitor voltage just before the switching operation? Definitely 5 volt only, because this circuit would have attained steady state long before, and also still in steady state just before the switching operation. Then once at exactly t is equal to 0, what we are doing, we are disconnecting the source. Okay, we are connecting with this resistance. Now this capacitor is not a free capacitor, already it is having some energy. Okay, that how much charge it is having, q is equal to cv, 25 coulomb of charge it is having, 5 volt voltage it is having, and also we can calculate what is the energy of the capacitor. The energy of the capacitor is of cv square. The energy of the capacitor is of cv square. It is having some initial energy. Once if it has some initial energy, it is connected with the resistance. As the charges are there, it can easily go in this direction across through the resistance, and potential is in this manner, here plus, here minus. Then definitely from this charge, from the capacitor, the charges will be going like this. Okay, actually the current will be going like this towards the resistance. Okay, initially the current will be more because initially the charge is more, so the current will be more. Okay, but over a period of time the charge will decrease, and also the current flow also will decrease. Okay, so to identify the nature, say now the capacitor is connected with the resistance. Anyway, this is having some charge. Okay, because of that charge some current will flow for a certain duration, but how much duration some current is there, again the charge may decay very fastly or it may decay very slowly. It all depends on what is the value of the resistance and capacitance. Say for example, if your tau value is RC, if this is very small, then that will decay very fastly. The charge will decay very fastly. If the tau value is very high, then it will decay very slowly. But anyway, after a certain amount of time, definitely the charge will be decayed. Okay, all the charge that is present in the capacitor will go as a current to the resistance, then that will be dissipated as a heat. Okay, so again lesser the time constant, very quickly the charge is getting decayed. Okay, so lesser the time constant, if tau is less, very quickly the charge will be discharged. Okay, or other way, if tau is high, okay, even if you assume c is constant, if tau is high, r is high. Okay, so or otherwise, say for example, when c is constant, r is less. For example, if r is less, tau will be less. When r is less, current can flow very easily, high current will flow very easily, but that high current will flow only for a certain amount of time. Very quickly it will become zero. Okay, so when r is less, more current will flow only in the beginning, but it cannot flow for longer duration. Okay, for a lesser duration the more current will flow. Okay, so but once if you try to increase r, the less current will flow, but that current will sustain for some duration, some longer duration. That is the idea of these values r and c now. Okay, so next we take the circuit. Here the voltage, this is the voltage across the capacitor is vc, and this is r. Now the voltage across the capacitor in the beginning is v0, that is equal to v0. Now actually the current is going to flow in this direction because I know the voltage is like this. But in order to write the equations for capacitor, because generally the capacitor equation will be something like this: I is equal to c dvc divided by dt. Because when we write this equation, what is the convention we are following? We consider this as a plus side and minus side, and also the current is flowing in this manner. Okay, to satisfy that convention, okay, I am assuming that the current is flowing inside the capacitor, but actually really the current will be flowing outside. Okay, so I assume here the current going here is IR and the current going in this way is IC. Then once if you apply the KCL at this node, IC plus IR is equal to 0. IC means C dVC by dt. IR means simply VC divided by R, because what is the voltage drop across the resistance? The voltage drop across the resistance is same as the voltage drop across the capacitance, but this voltage drop is not a constant quantity, it is a time varying quantity, it will vary with the time. Okay, so that is Vc divided by R is equal to 0. Then dBc by dt, this C can come down, that is Vc by Rc. Then you can write in terms of differential format, that is d plus 1 by Rc. Okay, once if it is d plus 1 by Rc, then what is the equation? Vc we can write with some constant e power minus 1 by Rc into t. Okay, at the initial stage, at the time of switching, okay, at the beginning when Vc 0, k e power 0 is equal to V naught. V naught is the initial voltage across the capacitor. Okay, now from this k is equal to V naught, then you replace that k with V naught, then we are getting Vc is equal to V naught e power minus t by Rc. This Rc I can replace with the tau because tau is equal to Rc. So finally we got the voltage across the capacitor as Vct V naught e power minus t by tau. Okay, the voltage across the capacitor is not constant. Okay, the voltage across the capacitor will decay with respect to time. Okay, initially the voltage is V naught. As soon as you connect with the resistance, okay, the charge will flow. Finally, the current will flow, so that again, as the charges are going outside, this is like a finite charge. It is not having infinite charge. Once if you imagine about the independent sources and all, it will be having infinite charge. But this is a capacitor, it will have finite charge. Then if the charge is going away, then it's over. Again, after a certain amount of time, the voltage will decrease, because you know from the formula of Q is equal to CV, Q is equal to CV. If the charge decreases, then voltage also will decrease. Okay, so the charges are going outside, definitely the voltage also will decrease. Again, initially the charge will be going very high, because suppose if 1000 charges are there, initially 500 charge will go, again 200 charge, again 100 charge, again 10 charge, again 5 charge, like that. Okay, initially the charge flow with respect to time will be high. That's why initially we'll get more current, but ultimately finally we'll get less current, ultimately zero current. Okay, this is the charge nature. The charge is decaying like this. Okay, now once we know the equation for capacitor voltage with respect to time, then this is V of t is equal to V naught e power minus t by tau. Then what is the voltage at the beginning? For t you substitute 0, then we'll get V0. At t is equal to tau, what is happening exactly at t is equal to tau? Once if you substitute V naught into e power minus 1, then that is around 36% of V naught. Okay, so this is 36% of V naught. Now at t is equal to 2 tau, this is around 13%. Okay, like this you can substitute 3 tau, 4 tau. For 3 tau, you are getting this voltage. For 4 tau, you are getting this voltage. But once when you enter into 5 tau stage, this is like 0.000. So we consider this as approximately 0 volt. Okay, we consider this as approximately 0 volt. Okay, again this 5 tau is some time. Okay, because tau means in terms of time. Phi tau means phi into RC. R and C is having some value. Based on that, phi we will get some phi RC. This unit is seconds. Okay, this unit is second. Okay, so after t is equal to phi tau, the value remains same, because even if you substitute t is equal to 6 tau, 7 tau, like that, the value is going to remain same. That is 0 volt only. Okay, so that state we call it as a steady state. Okay, once if either the voltage or current of the circuit, that is the two across the capacitor or inductor, if it remains constant over a period of time, that particular state we call it as a steady state. Okay, so at t is equal to 5 tau, we are attaining the steady state. Okay, so definitely at t greater than 5 tau, we will call that state as a steady state, because voltage is not going to vary. Okay, so roughly we are attaining the steady state exactly at a 5 tau. Okay, so then what is the rest of the state? Okay, less than 5 tau, from 0 to 4 tau, we will call it as a transient state, because here the voltage is varying. When the voltage is varying, current will vary. So this state we call it as a transient state. And again, what is tau? Tau means time constant of the circuit. What it is giving? Okay, it is giving the idea. See, when I have some value, how how slowly it is decreasing, or how fastly it is decreasing. It can decrease in any manner. It may decrease very slowly, or it may decrease very fastly. Okay, so when tau value is less, okay, it will decrease very slowly. When tau value is high, it will decrease very fastly. Again, the quantity may be the voltage or current. Okay, it may be the voltage or current. Again, in this case, our voltage or current is decreasing, but in some other case, Okay, in some other case, it may increase also. It may increase like this, it may increase like this, it may increase like this. Okay, so in some other cases, the voltage or current may increase also. So that's why tau means what? It is a tau is a time constant. What it is telling, how quickly or slowly your voltage or current across the inductor or capacitor increases or decreases. Okay, if tau value is less, very quickly the phenomenon is happening. It may be either increasing or decreasing. We do not know. Okay, so it is like quickly. When tau value is more, it is like very slow. It is taking more time. Okay, that terminology you should know. So next one, what is the voltage across the capacitor? Just now we have calculated, that is Vc of t is equal to V naught e power minus t by tau. Then we know, once if you know the voltage across the capacitor, you can easily find out the current. Okay, the formula is I c dVc by dt, but this Vc is not constant. It is function of time. Okay, so once if you differentiate this with respect to dt, then you will get minus 1 by tau. Okay, already c V naught. Okay, and then you can replace this tau with RC. So RC is there, CC will cancel, then minus, finally you are getting minus V naught by R e power minus t by tau. Once if you take this minus outside, V naught by R e power minus t by tau, anyway V naught is a positive quantity, R is the positive quantity, e power minus is also a positive quantity, but ultimately negative is there. So okay, you assumed a current across a capacitor in one direction, in a conventional direction, but actually the current is flowing in the opposite direction. Actually the current is flowing in the opposite direction. Say we have assumed that the current is flowing inside IC, but conventionally actually really the practically the current is going away from the capacitor, because it is having some voltage. Because you know, one concept, when we have a voltage source like this, if this is plus, this is minus, okay, definitely the current will flow away from the positive terminal. Okay, so the really the current will be flowing away from the positive terminal. That is the real direction of the current. Okay, so next we know what is the current, capacitor current. Okay, and what is the relation between the capacitor current and resistor current? See, IC we assumed in this direction, IR in this direction, then definitely IR is equal to minus IC. Okay, so IR is equal to minus IC. IR t is equal to minus IC of t. Okay, then what is IC of t? That is minus V naught by R. Already one minus is there, so minus cancel, V naught by R e power minus t by tau. Or otherwise, in other manner also we can calculate what is the current across the resistance. Okay, because you know one thing, whenever resistor is there, irrespective of anything else, okay, the current across the resistor is simply the voltage across the resistor divided by R. Okay, so what is the voltage across the resistor? The voltage across the resistor is same as the voltage across the capacitor. Okay, and then you simply divide it by R, then I will get the current across the resistor. Okay, so the current across the resistor is simply the voltage across the resistor divided by R. But in this case, voltage across the resistor is same as the voltage across the capacitor, VCT divided by R. And I know what is VCT, that is V naught e power minus t by tau divided by R. And these two will remain same. Okay, so in different manner we are calculating. Ultimately everything has to follow the KVL and KCL. Okay, you go by any method, finally the answer will be same. Okay, then actually what is happening at t is equal to 0 plus? Okay, when your circuit capacitor is having initial voltage V naught, that equivalently I can represent with the capacitor without any voltage, that voltage I can separately write, that is plus minus V naught like this. Again, there are some differences there in the notation, because we may also have a independent source, and also we are having this one. So when we write it in the Laplace transform, some differentiation will come to represent this one and also the independent sources. Okay, that we'll see it later. But one thing is clear, at t is equal to 0, you can represent your capacitor with energy like this. Okay, voltage separately, what is that initial voltage, then the capacitor without energy. Okay, now what is happening at t is equal to 0 at the time of switching? You know, at the time of the switching, capacitor is like a short circuit. Capacitor is like a short circuit. So this is like short, then this is V naught. Then what is the current flow? The current flow is really V naught by R. But if you are measuring IC, then that is IC 0 plus is equal to minus V naught by R. Okay, in the opposite manner you are writing, that's it. Okay, so this is the initial current. Okay, this is the initial current in the circuit, that is minus V naught by R, but actually the current is V naught by R. Okay, so but this current cannot remain constant, because see, if you calculate the current with respect to the resistance, okay, with respect to the resistance, the initial current across the resistance is V naught divided by R. Okay, this is only the initial current, but as the time progress, the current will decrease. Okay, because the resistor current is decided by the capacitor. Again, the resistor current and capacitor current are here just opposite. So your resistor current, the current through the circuit will decrease actually. Okay, if VCT is equal to V naught e power minus t by tau, then what is ICT? Okay, simply with the differentiation formula also you can write. Okay, or otherwise you do the differentiation, then also you will get, or otherwise this is minus V naught by R e power minus t by tau. Okay, then what is happening at IC is equal to infinite out. Finally, what is happening? Current at the end, okay, that is zero. What is the voltage at the end? That is zero. So what is happening to the current and voltage? Initially there is some voltage. Initially there is some voltage. Some current is flowing. As the time progress, this voltage is getting decreased. Okay, once the voltage is getting decreased, finally the current in the circuit also will get decreased. Okay, finally both voltage and the current will become zero. So at steady state, so everything will become zero. So if you are having source free circuit at a steady state, voltage will become zero, current will become zero, energy will become zero, power will become zero, everything will become zero, because it is a source free circuit. It is having finite amount of energy. With that finite amount, it cannot sustain for infinite time. That is the idea of the source free circuit. Okay, thank you.